Whoa. Okay, let's see here. Hi, I'm live. I'm going live today. I'm going to do the podcast live today. And today we're going to talk about the benefits of walking for a full hour every single day. So since June, this has kind of been my thing. I'm walking for an hour every day, trying to really kind of get some, get some changes in my body. This has been years. I have been dealing with Epstein-Barr and weight problems and thyroid problems and just tons of it. And I used to push myself at the gym. Man, did I ever push myself? I would go 5 times a week and I would just really push it. And then I would wonder, why do I feel so bad? And why aren't I losing weight? And, a lot of it was the diet, because I was eating a lot of processed foods, even though they, made claims of being healthy. They're still processed foods. So that's not going to work ever in any world. Is that ever going to work? You can't outwork a bad diet. And you know what? I'm tired of trying to do that. So for the last several years, I have been really more, I guess you could say, patient with my body, because listen, we're all built to walk. I mean, think about when our ancestors walked everywhere. I mean, there were no cars. There was nothing. There was just literally 2 feet, Pete and Joe. And so, I was thinking back, I was thinking if I lived back in the Paleolithic era, which is the way that I eat, if I lived in that era, what would most of my day be spent doing? I wouldn't imagine it would be spent laying around because it was, especially during the summer, it was hot. During the winter, it was cold. And in both instances, you want to get out and move around a little bit because sitting in hot and heat is just miserable. So I would imagine that there was a lot of time spent walking, and we measure our steps. We all measure our steps, how many steps did you take? And I think that is just it's almost like that's like a deterrent to walk. Oh my God, I have to get out and take 10,000 steps today. But what if you just said, I got to get out and walk for an hour today? I mean, you would spend an hour at the gym, right? I mean, you might spend an hour on your treadmill or, whatever you do at the gym. Why not get out in nature and walk for an hour? So let's go through the actual benefits of walking for an hour. So starting with the first one, let me get to my little page here. Like I said, I'm live, so this might be weird, and that's okay if it's a little weird. So let's start with, hold on, get on back to that spot. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go through what happens minute by minute when you walk for an hour. And then I'm going to go through what happens month by month when you walk for a year for an hour each day. Okay, so let's start with minutes 0 to 5. This is the warm-up phase. This is what happens. Your heart rate begins to rise from resting approximately. Most people, if you're healthy, you do regular exercise, you're probably around 67 to 70 beats a minute. You're going to get closer to 90 to 100 beats a minute in the warm-up phase. I usually get to about 100 beats a minute in the first 5 minutes. Your blood vessels dilate in working muscles, your legs, hips, core, to increase oxygen delivery. Oxygen through the blood is incredibly important. And when it's not being moved around properly, you start having blood pressure problems. Joint fluid, which is also synovial fluid, production ramps up, lubricating knees, hips, and ankles. That's why it hurts at first when you first start working out or walking. It hurts a little bit, but then it stops hurting because that synovial fluid is making everything a little more greased up. Your lymphatic system starts pumping more actively and flushing out stagnant fluid. So, I hear people say all the time, I think my lymphatic system is fine. But do you have inflammation in your ankles? Do you have inflammation in your hands? And your lymphatic system's not doing what it needs to do. So this can really help to decrease inflammation. And this all starts in the first 5 minutes walking. A mental shift begins. Walking releases tension in the shoulders, spine, and jaw. So this mental shift, the tension releases, and then your creative mind takes over. You ever notice how when you walk, you start having great ideas? I mean, I do. I notice that a lot. Okay, so minutes 6 through 15, oxygen shift and fat mobilization. So and during minutes 6 through 15, so this is like right after you warmed up and now you're kind of in your groove and you're walking and you're starting to get some great thoughts in your head and some good feelings. Your mitochondria and your muscle cells start producing more ATP, cell energy, important stuff, using oxygen shifting from stored sugar, glycogen, to a mix of glycogen plus fat. So that means that sugar is processed better. It's processing sugar. Heart rate stabilizes in the aerobic zone. Around 97 BPM is kind of the sweet spot. Brain gets a boost of dopamine and serotonin, starting to elevate your mood. And lungs expand more fully with each breath, increasing oxygen and exchange efficiency. So you might notice during the warm-up phase that it's a little hard to walk and talk, especially if you're moving kind of, at a nice pace. It might be a little hard to walk and talk, but after you've been walking for a little while, your lungs opened up and say, okay, we need to breathe heavier here. So let's give a little more room. And then it's a little easier to walk and talk. So minutes 16 through 30, endurance and hormonal response. This is incredible what happens to your body when you walk. It really is incredible. So steady fat burning. Yep. I've seen it. I've definitely seen it in inches, which is wonderful. So steady fat burning begins as your body taps into stored triglycerides. Cortisol levels drop. That means stress lowers. So cortisol levels drops if they were elevated from stress earlier in the day, which, I mean, come on, who doesn't really have some level of stress in their life? Growth hormone release increases slightly, helping with tissue repair and muscle preservation. Tissue repair. So a lot of the pain that we deal with in our bodies is soft tissue issues. Yeah, that rhymed. Okay, so the brain's BDNF, the brain-derived neurotrophic factor, starts rising, improving focus and memory. My apologies, had a little phone call there. I should put that on do not disturb. Okay, as we carry on. Minutes 31 through 45. This is when the deep cardiovascular benefits arrive. Yes, that's what we're looking for. So the capillary recruitment increases, more tiny blood cells open up in your muscles, improving nutrient and oxygen delivery. It's so important. Can you believe that nutrient delivery can be impacted by this? That's so important because, listen, so many of our problems are because we're malnourished and we can't have this glowing, beautiful skin if we're malnourished. Is that right? Okay. So we want lots of that good stuff. We want lots of the capillary recruitment. Let's recruit some more capillaries. Hey, recruitment team, we need more capillaries. Okay. It's on the way. Okay, insulin sensitivity rises, meaning your cells handle blood sugar more effectively even hours after your walk. So you want to have a sweet treat? I would suggest one with coconut sugar and not refined sugar, but either one is going to spike your blood sugar. So you want to have a sweet treat? Take a walk first for an hour. Your body's core temperature is elevated enough now to increase metabolic rate during and after the walk. So for me, I have thyroid issues, and my thyroid, it slows down my metabolism, and then I get fat, and that sucks because it's terrible to feel that way. So walking is not only helping me burn fat, but it's helping my thyroid by helping to boost the metabolism, which takes a lot of work off my thyroid gland. Mental relaxation deepens, often referred to as the flow state of walking. This is when the great ideas come. Yes, like those ideas of, oh, I'm going to start a business. I'm going to start a food truck. Yeah, that happened when I was walking once. Okay, minutes 45 to 60. This is your peak efficiency zone. So your cardiovascular system is working at an optimal level without strain. That means your heart's just pumping along, doing its thing, and it doesn't have to work hard. Isn't that wonderful to love your heart that way? Fat oxidation is at its highest. You're burning more fat relative to carbs now. Endorphins peak, leading to an improved mood and decreased pain perception. Decreased pain perception. Hey, attention Gen Xers, we're feeling pain today. We're feeling pain most days now, right? Because we're older. So we want endorphins to peak to give us decreased pain perception. Okay, if outdoors, natural light exposure is syncing your circadian rhythm, helping with better sleep later. And guess what else syncing with your circadian rhythm helps with? Pooping. When you're caught up with your circadian rhythm, your poop is regular. Yay. Okay. After you stop recovery and long-term adaptation, heart rate begins to gradually drop back down towards 65 to 70 beats. Your normal resting heart rate is. As your parasympathetic rest and digest system takes over, post-exercise oxygen consumption, EPOC, keeps metabolism elevated for a short period, meaning you keep burning calories after you're done. So that's the best place to have a snack. Whenever you're done walking, eat it right afterwards before you take a shower, before you do anything, have your snack. Your body's going to be able to handle it better. Inflammation levels temporarily decrease, helping joint comfort and recovery. Your nervous system stores this as a positive, repeatable habit, making it easier to keep walking regularly. So I would suggest when you're finished with your hour walk that you do a little stretching, because when you do a little yoga, you do a little bit of stretching, a little bit of loving on your body, all of that lactic acid that builds up, you can put it to use. Yep, it's not going to stiffen your muscles because your muscles are going to be all stretched out. Bottom line, that hour, if you're keeping your heart rate, check your heart rate. There's lots of apps you can download for that, but you can check or you can do it manually like we used to do back in the day. Check your beats per minute. See if you're staying between 97 and 120 beats a minute. That's your longevity zone. You're training your heart, improving insulin function, supporting fat metabolism, protecting joints, boosting mood, and even improving brain health, all without overtaxing your body. That's amazing. Oh my gosh. Can you believe you can do all that just walking for 1 hour every day? Okay. Now, let's move on to month by month. What happens in your body if you consistently walk every day for 1 year? I'm going to let you know how I feel after a year, because I just started doing the 1 hour to an hour and a half, which sometimes I do go an hour and a half every day. Back at the end of May is when I started. So next year at the end of May, I'll let you know how it's going. So let's go on to month by month changes over the first year. So month 1 to 2, initial adaptations. So between month 1 and 2, from month 1 to 2, your cardio efficiency improves. Your resting heart rate may drop by 2 to 5 beats per minute as your heart pumps more blood per beat. So I can tell you that my heart rate has gone from about 71 beats a minute to about 65. So it has lowered significantly. Muscle endurance in your legs, hips, and core improves. Stairs and hills feel easier. I can attest to that 100%. The other day it was raining here, and so I went to the mall to walk because I wasn't going to walk in the rain. And in my affirmations, it says on there, I will walk every single day, regardless of circumstance. And there was a tropical storm here, and that was a circumstance. So I went to the mall and walked. Well, I decided to kind of push myself a little tiny bit. And I went into the stores like Dillard's and, the ones that have 2 stories. And I walked up their escalators, each one. And I walked down them, and, I had to walk past some people. It was kind of weird, but anyway, it was great. So let me tell you, that was so much easier than it had been before walking upstairs. Okay. Blood sugar control. So blood sugar control starts to stabilize. You may notice fewer energy crashes. Yeah. You may notice that you don't need to take a nap anymore. That feels great. Mild weight loss if calorie intake stays the same, about 2 to 6 pounds, mostly from water and glycogen at first. So I'm going to say, I don't know about pounds, but I know about inches, and definitely there's decrease in inches. Mood improvement. Walking daily reduces baseline cortisol and increases serotonin and dopamine. So yeah, So I can attest to that as well. Life is stressful. Marriage is stressful. Things are stressful. It's just stressful. Running a business is stressful. I have noticed that my response has been different. I have not allowed myself, or I have not felt the need to become angry or upset. I'm rolling with it, and I love it. And I'm grateful that I have this ability to be able to just let things come in as they're going to come in and be the observer and not lose my shit over them anymore. So that's great. Months 3 to 4, you're going to see some metabolism or some metabolic shifts. Let's say it that way. Some metabolic shifts. So insulin sensitivity increases significantly. Cells handle sugar better, reducing diabetes risk. And if you are already diabetic, it's never too late to start because you can change that. Blood pressure often drops by 4 to 8 mmHg if it was high before. Mine's never been high, so I can't really talk about that, but I know it's a fact because it happened for my husband. Lymphatic drainage efficiency improves, including to less puffiness, swelling in hands and feet. Yep, I can definitely attest to that. I would show you my feet, but that would be weird. Muscles adapt to burn more fat for fuel. That's what we're looking for, right? That burn fat for fuel. Don't burn the rest of my stuff. Burn fat. So muscles adapt to burn more fat for fuel at rest and during activity. Skin circulation improves, often leading to a healthier glow. Just saying. Month 5 through 6, structural strengthening. Bone density in hips, spine, and legs strengthen due to consistent weight-bearing activity. That's great because if you know me, I broke my tailbone on Christmas Day, and I definitely need that because that has been a struggle. Okay, skin circulation improves. Oh, we already read that. Sorry. Okay, I love going live. Oh, okay. So joint health improves. Cartilage receives more nutrient-rich fluid from regular movement. And then posture correction. Core and glute muscles strengthen, making it easier to stand taller. Okay. Weight change, steady fat loss of 1 to 2 pounds a month. Over 12 months, that's 24 pounds. Continues if diet is unchanged. But if the diet's changed, look out because you're going to be skinny. All right. Lung capacity increases, making deep breathing feel more natural and being able to get on YouTube and scream and yell. Ha! Months 7 through 9, you're going to see mitochondrial density increases. Your cells literally produce more energy making powerhouses. Well, I can definitely attest to the energy because that's definitely a true statement. Triglycerides may drop by 15 to 30%, improving overall heart health. Okay, HDL cholesterol, the good cholesterol often rises. What does that do? That makes you smarter. Daily walking reinforces a robust circadian rhythm, leading to better sleep and more consistent energy. And what else? It helps you poop. Okay, your stress response system becomes more resilient. You recover faster from emotional or physical stress. Yes. Okay, months 10 through 12, long-term protective changes. Cardiovascular disease risk, gone. Lower. Studies show 30 to 50% reduction with daily moderate activity. Type 2 diabetes risk, gone. Ha! Can be cut by 40 to 60% depending on baseline health. And if you exchange that refined sugar for coconut sugar, you'll see an even better response. Weight maintenance becomes easier. Your metabolism adapts to burn more calories even at rest. But remember, you can't outwork a bad diet. You cannot outwork a bad diet. I'm trying to look directly at you here. Is that, yeah. You cannot outwork a bad diet. Let's see. Brain health. You get smarter. Yeah. Brain health. Regular BDNF production supports memory and reduces cognitive decline risk. because no, none of us want that. As Gen Xers, we've seen it happen to the baby boomers, and we don't want it to happen to us. So start walking. Let's see. Joint longevity. Oh, sorry, I missed one. Weight maintenance. Becomes easier. Your metabolism adapts to burn more calories even at rest. Joint longevity, regular movement, keeps connective tissue stronger and more flexible. Your biological age, as measured by heart, lung, and vascular health, may be several years younger than your chronological age. What? Walking is anti-aging? Are you serious? Yes, I am serious. Ha. So at the end of the year, 1 year later, if you've done this daily for an hour, your resting heart rate could be 5 to 10 beats lower. Your VO2 max, oxygen use efficiency, will be higher. Yes, meaning you can do more without getting winded. Your body composition will likely have shifted towards less fat and more lean muscle. Sorry, here you go. Your body composition will likely have shifted towards less fat and more lean muscle, even if scale weight is similar. Because why? Why? Because muscle weighs more than fat. That's why. Okay. You will have stronger bones, better joint health, and better balance. You'll be able to stand on one foot again. What? Lowering fall and fracture risk. You don't want to fall. Listen, guys, you don't want to fall. It sucks. Trust me. I did it on Christmas Day. Your mental resilience will be noticeably greater, or you might be crazy like me. Who knows? I've always been crazy, though. Okay, your mental resilience will be noticeably greater. Daily walking becomes a meditative reset. Yes, theta brainwaves are released during walking, which puts you in a meditative state. You will have lowered your risks for heart disease, stroke, diabetes, dementia, and certain cancers. If you track this every day for a year and you just stick to it, you're going to see some amazing changes in your body if you just walk for 1 hour every single day. Now, let's talk about this. I have a community of people. We support each other. There is a weekly coaching session with yours truly. It's not as much fun as this podcast. No, I'm just kidding. It really is. So you will have access to weekly group coaching sessions, weekly paleo diet coaching sessions, which I will be sharing recipes and tips and tricks on how to prepare foods, your favorite foods, without getting sick and fat from them. And also, you will have access to a recipe bank. You will have access to an endless amount of ebooks, all the books I've written, and you can reach out to me personally at any time, and I'll get back in touch with you if you have any questions. So it is a great program. It is $11.11 a month. Oh, I forgot to mention the most important thing. You get 20% off my shop. So anything in my shop, you get 20% off. That includes rollerball fragrances, herbal teas, my books, and whatever kind of crazy stuff I want to put up on my shop. But you get 20% off. That's super cool. You also get 20% off all my services. So personal health coaching, personal paleo diet tracking, and help with that. All of that, you get 20% off. 20% off shadow integration work. Anything you want, get 20% off. Yay! It's $11.11 a month, and you get a tremendous amount of value. So hope to see you there. At any rate, this is going to wrap up the podcast for today. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you got a lot out of it. And I hope that you start walking. And listen, if you can't do an hour every day, do a half hour and then work your way up to an hour. But you would be surprised how easy an hour is, really. You set your timer on your phone, put your headphones in. I like to listen to this Buddhist monk named Shihing Yi, I think is his name. And he's amazing. And he is really affected my life, especially when I'm walking and listening to him while my theta brainwaves are in motion. And let me tell you something. You're listening to that, your brain is a sponge, and you're changing You're changing. That's what we're here to do. We need to change. Change is a natural aspect of life. Change is good. Allow it. Until next time, love yourself. Love yourself more from the inside out. Thanks for tuning in today.